The man accused of killing 4 Idaho college students is set to face a jury. This is going to take place in just a few weeks, and Court TV will be there for it all.
Right now, jury selection is set to begin July 30th, but his attorneys are fighting to have the trial delayed. Kohberger returned to court yesterday for a hearing on the defense's motion to push back the trial start date. We'll bring you that hearing in just a moment.
But first, let's start with a look at the timeline of events inside the house in Idaho on the night of the murders. Here's Court TV lead anchor Vinny Politan.
The roommates of 1122 King Road went out on November 12, 2022.
Kaylee and Madison arrived home at about 1:56 a.m. after visiting a local bar and street food vendor. Ethan and Xana were at the Sigma Chi house before arriving home. The 2 surviving roommates had also been in the community but returned around 1 a.m.
By 3:30 a.m., everyone is back at home, and a white sedan prosecutors say was driven by the defendant is caught by a neighbor's surveillance camera driving by. 3 minutes later, the same car drives past the house heading out of the neighborhood. Then at 3:38 a.m., the driver does a second drive-by. At 3:56 a.m., the car passes by the house for a third time, in and out of the neighborhood.
These were just girls that went to sleep that night, and he was stalking them, he was hunting them.
At 4 a.m., a DoorDash driver drops off food that Xana Kernodle ordered. At 4:04 a.m., the suspect drives up the street toward the house again. Dylan told investigators it was around that time when something woke her up. It sounded like Kaylee playing with her dog upstairs. Xana's phone records show she is awake and on TikTok at 4:12 a.m. A surveillance camera picks up audio of a thud, voices, and a dog barking at 4:17 a.m. Dylan hears one of the girls say, "There's someone here." She also hears crying and a man say, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." Sometime between 4 o'clock and 4:20 a.m., she opens her door a few times, and at one point sees a man with bushy eyebrows walking past her room and towards the back sliding door.
She described this person as being white, male, wearing all black, a few inches taller than her. She's 5'10", wearing a mask, skinny, athletic, toned build.
Dylan calls and texts her roommates, but she's only able to reach Bethany. At 4:20 a.m., the car is seen on surveillance video again, this time leaving at a high rate of speed. Between 4:22 and 4:26, Dylan and Bethany send a flurry of text messages to each other. No one is answering. "I'm freaking out right now. Run down here." Dylan runs to Bethany's room, and on her way, she sees Xana lying on the floor of her bedroom. News Nation spoke with Kaylee's father about this.
I just imagine her booking her tail off, going down those steps as fast as she possibly could, seeing something at the side of her eyes, and just running all the way down the step.
At 4:32 a.m., Dylan sends a text to Kaylee, "Please answer." For the next 7 hours, Dylan and Bethany got on their social media, slept, and kept trying to reach others in the house. At about 11:50 a.m., they call 2 friends to come over and help check the house. That's when 911 is called.
911 location of your emergency.
Something is happening. Something's happening in our house. We don't know what.
One of the roommates has passed out, and she was drunk last night and she's not waking up. Oh, and they saw some man in their house last night.
Now we're learning more details about the investigation into Bryan Kohberger, including the DoorDash driver that Vinny just mentioned, who says she saw Kohberger near the house that night.
That 44-year-old woman told police after a traffic stop last year that she may be called to testify in this high-profile trial. Her conversation was captured on body camera video. Let's take a listen to that.
And then now I have to testify. So yeah, because I'm a DoorDash driver, so yeah.
You have to testify in which murder?
Murder case for college girl.
Oh.
All right, let's bring in our guests this hour to discuss trial attorneys Xana Kernodle and Mackenzie Joy Brennan. And Mackenzie, I want to start with you. We have this new footage of this DoorDash driver that we've heard about since the beginning. You know, in the video, she says that she'll likely be called as a witness. But to me, Kelly, what stands out is that she says that she saw Bryan near the house that night. And now, not only do we have the DNA on the sheet that was found in the house, now we have potential witness testimony about placing him at the scene of the crime. How does that change the tide of this case?
Boy, I think everything that we've seen progressively has really connected him to the case itself. We have all sorts of different types of evidence. You know, it's not just circumstantial. Now we have eyewitness through a real person. You have eyewitness essentially through camera footage. It connects to the defense's new motion, because it seems like they're really trying to do everything they can, as they must in a case like this, where evidence is so clearly weighing against the defendant, that they just want to delay as much as possible, throw everything at the wall, because once they get to trial, there's so much stacked against this person.
And Cannon, in regard to what Mackenzie is talking about here, defense counsel really wants to have a continuance in this case. The judge has told them that they better be prepared, you better be ready. When we first started hearing about all the information in this case, the defense counsel was saying that Bryan Kohberger was out stargazing that night. And then, as Mackenzie was saying, more and more details have come to light that appear to connect him to this situation. How do you change and keep changing your approach as a defense counsel to a case like this when new information keeps coming out, tying, in a way, your defendant to the case, your client?
Well, Kelly, good morning. I would say the best thing for the defense to do is to continue to go at the credibility of the witnesses and at the credibility of the evidence that's been put forth. It appears that they're saying that their client's Fourth Amendment rights have been violated, his constitutional rights have been violated to his privacy. It appears that they're going to go at the witness that we just discussed. And essentially what we're seeing is a defense that's doing everything that they can to help their client. But as you indicate, it appears that bad things just keep raining down on Mr. Kohberger's head. So as far as being able to get some form of adjournment or pushing back the time for the trial, the judge has already pretty much indicated how he's going to move. So at this point, either they're going to take some type of plea or they need to have some type of evidence to clearly indicate that their client isn't the person who killed these victims.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if the state is going to offer a plea. I mean, I don't know, but it's a death penalty situation, and so we'll have to see. Could maybe they take the death penalty off the table? I don't know, but we'll have to see if the trial moves forward. We assume it will. All right, Cannon, thank you so much. We appreciate your insight as always.